can you see this person's perspective, but can you see beyond this barrier that is in front of you right now? And we do get to that place of gratitude and actually appreciation. Now, it takes us refusing to stay in a victim mindset in order to do that.
Welcome in, everybody. It is Launch Date. I'm Devon O'Day.
Teri Pugh here.
And,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And
Yeah.
It is 2022. And we are about to have some big discussion with a special guest. And we're going to bring her on. But can we play her song first?
Yes.
I think we should intro her. Her music says it all. And for those who are reaching in, we still want you to leave your comments, even though we won't be going live to your comments because we are pre-recording this. The reason we are is because our next guest is a teacher. And so she is teaching at the time that we are doing our show most Wednesdays. So we're going to play her music because it's incredible to begin with, but it is a perfect introduction to her.
Some days seem to drag on when other days fly by. I know deep down I'd like to see the sun tomorrow, but at the same time I'd rather close my eyes. Waste time overthinking all the worries in my head, creating problems I don't even have, and I'm breaking my own heart instead. When there's a battle raging on in your head, and one side screaming to get up, but one yell stay in bed. It's hard to win the fight with a heart and mind divided. In a war you either win or die trying. I look for reassurance when I know everything is fine. I know I'm asking the same questions, but nothing satisfies the doubtful mind. When there's a battle raging on in your head, and one side screaming to get up, but one yells stay in bed. It's hard to win the fight with a heart and mind divided. In a war you either win or die trying. Oh, there's beauty when learning how to heal the struggle that's between what I know and how I feel. When there's a battle raging on in your head, and one side screaming to get up, one yell stay in bed. It's hard to win the fight with a heart and mind divided. In a war you either win. It's a war you either win or die trying.
that just says it all. Welcome, Dayna. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, Teri sent that to me and she says, what do you think about it? And I'm going, oh my gosh. What a raw and beautiful and true song that is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And total transparency, I've listened to it like a dozen times since I heard it the first time. And I'm literally sitting back here this time going, and I sent Dayna a text and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I was like, I don't know why this time I heard it, it like just hit on a whole different level for me. And I think it's because we all at some point in our life go through a complete and utter shit show that's dark and scary. And whether we live with it daily or whether it's from unseen circumstances, it can feel overwhelming. So I think that particular song speaks to so many, even though,
inner peace for the inner war, and we struggle with it. And these things right here, social media can put all of those doubts. And I saw it hit me. How many of us look at those videos, those makeup videos, and we're sitting there going, okay, let me put on my makeup and let me do this. And then we catch ourselves and go, that's not me. And that doesn't look like me. And then it opens up this Pandora's box of what's going on inside just by looking and working on the outside. And that's what hit me when I heard it, when I saw it this time. I too have been mainlining this video.
No, thank you. Well, you definitely don't want a makeup tutorial from me. Because it'll be the same thing every day. And you could call my sister for that, but
it's not even it's the image and what was the impetus behind you writing this? What was the catalyst? What was the thing that said, this is pouring out of me today?
Well, the way I write songs is I usually have something I want to write about or like a story, and it might sit for a while till I figure out just where I'm going with it. But I don't know. I've just had some health issues the last 3 years and lots of stuff going on. And I honestly never thought I would be someone who would suffer from some depression and stuff. I didn't even realize that. I had to have people point it out to me. And I don't know. I just started like when the pandemic hit, and I was home often trying to teach kindergarten on Zoom. It's not good. But, you have more downtime, and I just was bored. And I mean, I live alone, and so I'm used to being alone, but like there was something about knowing that you can't go anywhere or you can't have people over, or you can't just go over to somebody's house. It was like more like solitary confinement, and it was rough on me. So I just sat down and started working on it. And I usually write and rewrite and write and rewrite and do that stuff and kind of go with that. So that's kind of where I came up with it. And I just finally got it wrapped up and decided to put it out.
I think that you stated something that everybody feels right now. Solitary confinement is what a lot of people feel like. And there's a reason that's what they do to punish you in prison.
Yeah.
They take you away from interaction. They take you away from people. They take you away from what we naturally go toward. Teri, why is that hitting us all so hard?
Well, because as human beings, even if we consider ourselves an introvert or an extrovert, however, whatever label we give ourselves with that, human beings, by definition, a fundamental need that we have is connection, human connection. Sometimes we get that from our pets. Sometimes we get that from support groups. Sometimes we get it from family or neighbors or whatever. But some of us don't need that. Like we don't, well, we do need it, but we don't, our gauges are all different. So some people might be a 10-gallon bucket. I need to fill up on all this stuff. And other people might be like, yo, a teaspoon and I'm good, So, but when you don't have it, the brain kind of does the same thing as it does if you go on a diet and it's like, oh, no more French fries. All of a sudden you reckon that void becomes real. And then knowing that we can't, during COVID, the rules were, you don't go, you don't visit, you don't have people over, you just lock down where you are. And for human beings, that can be detrimental to our psyche because we do like to couple either in friendships or relationships or in a familial way, And Dayna being around kindergartners all the time, I'm sure that's lovely, but also maddening at times. But that's a lot of energy, kind of like wrangling cats, especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of interaction. And then to go from lots of interaction to a screen.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It was rough. And we didn't have the kindergartners log on too long or often because it was just so difficult. So we'd prepare packets and stuff. But you do miss it because, work is socializing. You don't see everybody every day, too. It's kind of sad.
Right.
It was kind of like a death. It reminded me when we had to go back to our classrooms and pack up everybody's stuff because they weren't coming back. It was I don't know, everybody died or something because, it's just done and there's no closure or anything. So you just have to go pack up their stuff and get it home to them. So it was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that like a death, I think we've all been faced so much with death this last 2 years. And even screaming completely through 2021, we were still faced with it every day. And people who got through 2020, we still lost in 2021. So the loss of people right up until, and then for Betty White to leave. Let's just open that can of worms. I go, oh my gosh. And then Betty White. And it's just been a lot. And there's a lot of numbness to that. Let's open the package a little bit on some things that we can do, Teri, to fight this. Because I think there are a lot of us that didn't even realize, and kind of like you, Dayna, we don't know to call it depression. We don't even know the symptoms. We don't know whatever until someone says, hey, something ain't right here.
Yeah, I just thought I was tired. I needed a nap.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me.
Well, and that's one of the things is that when we sort of have the slow and gradual, like Dayna had mentioned, she'd had some health stuff going on. So when you have sort of that vacillation of, I feel like a pretty good, I feel like I'm tootling along through life pretty good. And then there's one thing that hits. So your body from a mental, emotional, and a physical aspect has to heal from that. And then if you get hit with another thing, then you're still trying to heal from the first thing. And at some point you almost feel like you are drowning by visible shackles because you just can't, there's just this sort of cloud that comes over you.
Right.
And that is, people will say, well, this dark cloud follows me. Well, real talk, when we get into a plate, I must be hungry. When we get into a place of depression, the chemicals blend in our brain and there is a heaviness. So we don't, and we can just become comfortable in that. Well, my saying, uncomfortable, comfortable, because it's just kind of what it is in that moment.
Right.
So to your question about what can we do in those things, one, I say it all the time, people listen sometimes they don't, but reach out. You got to know who you're reaching out to, though, because if you reach out to family and friends and they're just like, oh, it'll be okay, eat a donut, then you're probably not reaching out to the right people. Not to no fault of their own, but you got to make sure you're reaching out to someone who can hold that space for you. Also, be willing to say, you know what, this is just where I am right now. And there's nothing wrong with me. It's just, I'm just here right now and I'm experiencing this, and it's okay. It's okay. Now, if you start having thoughts of self-harm and things like that, obviously we switch gears, and you have to, hopefully people will reach out to someone who can guide them with that. But for the most part, we're coming off of, how many years we've been in this pandemic? Like 12, something like that.
Yes.
We're coming off of a pandemic. We're coming off of holidays. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Okay. It doesn't work for everybody, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And then the weather. I'm sure if you're in Hawaii, the weather's great right now, but for the most part, it's cold. Trees have lost their leaves. It's a beautiful time of year when you see the snow and everything, but not everybody gets snow. Sometimes we just get rain and mud. So, sunlights or sun boxes are great for people to add to their collection if they don't have one, because they give us a dose of vitamin D that we really do need in order to shift the chemicals inside us, because it changes.
Well, Amazon makes it very easy. You can get full spectrum light bulbs that can come right to your house.
Oh,
and
nice.
you can order those, and full spectrum is like having a light box. It's getting the full spectrum of light that comes from the sun without the UV damaging rays, whatever. So it's really helpful. And I switch out lamps and stuff like that. And
I have one of those lights.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, it's supposed to help for, I have such terrible sleep problems. So I try everything to help sleep and stuff. So
as much as everybody's on social media with the ring lights, maybe I should patent that. So we just won't talk about that right here, or we'll edit it out, but they should make those sun lights, right? Can you imagine all the time that you got these things in front of you? Would feel great.
Yeah,
I feel great just having them on, and I don't even think they have anything to do with anything, but they make me feel better. Okay, let me tell you something else. It's a Teri tool, and that is binaural beats. It is, I go to YouTube and I put in binaural, BINAURAL, like 2 ears beats, and binaural beats for depression. And it is music, and that it rewires your brain based on the tones and the frequency. And it is astounding what the ones for depression do. I have them in my ears when I sleep, and it's helped a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think most importantly, not most importantly over any of the stuff we've talked about, but another fine point too, is that whether or not, because some artists have, they're creative in the sense of they don't really share personal stuff. They have somebody write for them, and then they sing it, and we're all like, oh, it's not even their life. But when you have someone that is creating and sharing their truth, I think it's empowering for so many other people, because I don't know, Dayna, I'll ask you, was there hesitancy about, like, what'd you think when you thought, hey, I finished this and I got a video for it, so am I gonna put it in a box, or what you gonna do with it?
Well, I am not one to really talk about a lot of personal things, just to a select few maybe. But I'm better at writing. So this one was obviously the most personal one I've written. So there was hesitancy because I didn't want to worry anybody and make them feel bad, or anything like that. So I just decided, well, I guess I did all the work of writing it and recording it and paying for it. So might as well, I guess, share it. And some people seem to like it. And I guess that's all you can hope for, is a song resonates with people, I guess.
Dayna, being vulnerable enough, I always say songwriters are the ones that sit in a room and they get the lightning bolt of something so personal to them that when other people hear it, we feel like someone has read our mail. Someone has stepped right into our lives. And that's what The War, your song, does. That's what it did for me. That's what it did for Teri. And that is really something that I think is a gift that a songwriter has for the world. And you have really used your gift well. Thank you for allowing your vulnerability to show in this song. And I think that you really said it in a way that people are feeling it right now.
Yeah. I love the wording, and I'm glad that she's got it out there just for people to hear, because again, I do think that it is important that we don't all feel like heaviness is not applicable to us, because we all have heaviness, to varying degrees, but there's something about an inclusiveness where someone can hear something that, whether it's a poem or whether it's a book or whether it's a song or whatever it is, a piece of artwork, and it reads them instead of them reading it.
Right.
It's like it feels like, oh wow, like you just said, Devon, to your point, it feels personal. And I think that there are a lot of folks, I know there are a lot of folks out there that just sort of go numb and go like, nobody feels this way. This is stupid. I shouldn't feel this way. But the truth of it is, we all feel a little funky every once in a while. I mean, we all do. And so I don't think I love the fact that I got teary-eyed listening to it this time on right before the show, just because it's a reminder of it's beautiful, and it's beautiful to accept and embrace yourself in any given moment that you're having,
Well, that's another thing that I think in the list: sunlight, full spectrum light bulbs, binaural beats, depression therapeutic music, but also music that opens you up and allows you the tears to flow, allows you to feel the feels. We spend so much of our time trying to say, I'm fine. Fine is
it's my favorite word.
Oh, isn't it? I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't want to worry anybody. I don't want to burden anyone. I don't want to bring anybody down. You don't want to hear my problems. And so we come up with this whole narrative that we're better than we are. And it's pretty horrific when we bottle that stuff all inside us. And I think listening to things that open us up and let us feel those things, that's something else, Dayna, that being that truthful as a songwriter, and being willing to let the tears fall. And if you don't have a friend or someone that you can share those with, then in the next year, I want to challenge everybody to, I hate to say this, get better friends. Find people in your life that let you have an empty bucket. Let you share that empty bucket. Let you share your real truth. Because if you've got people that you've got to put on an act for, if you've got to put on a bra and makeup to make somebody happy to be they ain't your friend.
What you said. Yes. Preach. Although I will say this, I didn't think you were going to go with get new friends. I thought, Devon, you were going to go with write a song. I thought you were really going to tell people write a song. I'm like, write a song? Yeah, that works. Yeah,
it does. Absolutely. It does. But I think that we get caught up into, I think it was Joe Rucker, one of our viewers, who said, it might have been Dope Turner, either one of them, one of our guys that watches, it said, don't stay with a mistake because it took you a long time to make it.
That was Joe.
And that's the thing with friendships that aren't nourishing. Sometimes you don't have to have some big bombastic goodbye. You can just, I promise you, if they aren't nourishing and you just open up your hands and let it free fall away, it naturally does. And that leaves room for those nourishing relationships to enter in.
And those are friendships, their work, their coworker, relationships. There are even some family dynamics. Mm-hmm. If you've got a job that's not nourishing your soul, get up and get.
Dayna, what are some things that you do? I know that writing a song for people who are songwriters, that is definitely a way to move through the pain or the nothingness of depression.
Well, I guess I'm working on adding some new things. I do like the music. I can play guitar. I love my dog who is in the video.
Good point. That is, I was about to say, opening
Yeah.
that little that up.
We went on lots of walks during that downtime too, because well, she was getting bored and it just kept me from sleeping all day. So we would go on lots of walks. I have a few people I can talk to and text, and the text back, and yeah, just working on something like that. Maybe trying to meet some more people too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people got into putting their hands in dirt and getting into green things, putting plants in their house. I have a friend who her life doesn't work with pets right now where she is and where she lives, but she brought green things into her house and they're just flourishing. And those green things, oxygen, things like that. I do want to say that people go, well, I couldn't go to the gym. Well, if you've got the internet and you've got a phone, there are Planet Fitness has Together We Move. It's free little workouts that you can even do from your chair.
Absolutely. I started to say, I have a client that was a 5-day a week, we're moving from certain things and around certain health issues and moving into a healthier version of their self. Mm-hmm. And when it all happened back last February, they started posting, they had a little corner in one of the rooms and gallons of water and different things that weighed different, weights and whatnot. And just sort of started picking up right there and did not let the fact that they could not physically go somewhere impede the fact that they or play a factor in the fact that they were going to give up on their physical transformation that they were making, because that was their choice. And there are other people that I was that person that said, oh man, Planet Fitness is closed, man, we'll have to wait till they open again. I'm still waiting. They're open.
I'm not a
priority.
I'll admit I'm not a big exerciser, but I think it's just because for so much of my life it was really hard to do and painful. But I do love to just like do random things around my house. Like I'm very content with cleaning out a closet or anything just to keep me busy. Or I laid some pavers in my backyard and figured out how to do it. And as long as I'm busy, it's better if I have a task to do.
Mm-hmm.
Creating things like ways to keep up with what day it is, because when we go into those inner battles, we lose days, we lose weeks. And I saw this really funny post. It was funny, kind of, but is it Friday? Is it Christmas? Is it New Year's? What year is it? Because I think we literally have lost time. And I started using a little composition notebook, Dollar Tree. And I started writing down the tasks that I got accomplished that day because I was losing days.
Yeah.
And even something as small as, okay, I did 3 loads of laundry today. I bathed the dog. Yes, I love the list.
And I go a little high checking the stuff off.
Yeah, Devon and I have talked about before, because we both do lists, and we've both talked about how sometimes Ella would like to say hello. We've talked about sometimes how you'll do something that wasn't on the list, but then you go back and you write it on the list so that you get to write it, you get to mark it off again. It's just yes,
I start with things I've already done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's important when we're talking about lists to have, and I know we've shared this in the past, but it's always good to rinse and repeat on this, to have lists that are doable lists for that day. And then to have your list that's like, I'm going to get this done sometime this week. and then to have lists that's the gutters and washing your windows and organizing your attic.
Right.
Because it can feel overwhelming when you have those things that you know you're not going to get to on your to-do today list, because the brain goes, oh, you sucked. You didn't get it done. And you know you can't get it done because you're not maybe have the energy. Plus those things typically take you wake up in the morning and you're kind of like, oh, today's the day, you know, I'm gonna clean those gutters. That's not like one of those things that we add.
And why is it that things that take literally 5 minutes to do just seem to take you forever just to get it done?
It's the motivation to do them, I find. That's the thing. It's the motivator.
Yeah, it's like when I finished something, I was like, wow, that took like a couple of minutes. Why did it take me so long to get it done?
Well, this has been really wonderful and kickstarted by your getting us kickstarted was this amazing song called The War. Dayna, tell us where we can find your music.
You can find it everywhere. DaynaJones.com will take you places, and like it's on Spotify. Well, it will be soon. I have it in the works to be released all over that, like iTunes, Amazon, all that. But you can find all my music on those kind of platforms too. YouTube.
Nice.
I find all sorts of things, and once you kind of start, I love having the chance to introduce your music to people. What a lovely voice, and I love that you pursue the passion of songwriting and things when you are literally working the most exhaustive job, except being a stay-at-home mom. The only other thing with this is exhaustive is stay-at-home mom, but working with kindergarten kids and teaching on a regular basis. Oh.
Yeah, that's like they say, kindergarten is not a job; it's an adventure.
Truth.
Every at least every day is different. You know, every day I walk into work or school, like I really don't know what's going to happen. You know, it's not routine; it's not the same, so it's unpredictable.
Well, pet therapy and art therapy and craft therapy, like you would do as a kindergartner, are all things that are keys to get out of that pit of that inner war, inner peace with the inner war. And that's kind of what we strive for around here on Launch Date. And so we want to encourage everybody who is listening this week, as you look at your goals for 2020. If you're a resolution person, I'm a word person. I have not gotten my word for this year yet. I pray for a word and it pops into my head, and then that's, instead of a resolution, I have a word. And so I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for my word.
I'm neither of those, I guess.
So yeah, I know we're going to get ready to wrap in a second, but before we do, I have a sneaky suspicion that Lois is near. And we just cannot let this program end without introducing the other star of the video, because Lois has her own TikTok page because she's hysterical. So
she's a lazy bum this morning, so she's just laying here right beside.
Is she laying there?
Oh yeah. No, Lois, everybody wants to
Oh, Lois is great.
I'm still snoozing.
She is. Lois goes with the kindergarten class a lot, and so
like school. You like to go to school, don't you?
Oh, look at that little cock of the head. That's so cute. She's like, yes.
She loves school, so she gets real excited when we go see the kids.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Look at her.
I'll go see the kids today. She's like, got a good personality.
She does. She's adorable. She looks like one of those little dogs you shouldn't feed after midnight. Is that what gremlins were?
Gremlin? No.
In the cute way, like they're like little Ewoks or whatever. But,
yeah, she's a Shih Tzu.
That's adorable. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful dog. So cute. Well, we also want to make sure that we let everybody know, I think we've got 3 spots left for our reboot this coming Saturday. And if they want to get in touch with us to be a part of it, just reach out to Teri. Now, Teri, how does the process? They reach out to you at teripugh.com, or give your phone number so they have that.
The easiest way, they can reach out at the website. It's just going to send an email to me. But the easiest way, because we're going to get there the same way anyway, is to call 615-513-2700. And then tell me who you are and that you want to be in it. Well, I'll send you the Venmo link and give you all the information on it. And then all you got to do is just show up next Saturday, and it's going to be a blast.
Wish I could attend.
Yeah.
I wish you could too.
Yeah. January the 8th, Evis's birthday. And
That's right.
So, and we are going to, one of our things that we're going to do is we're going to write a group song together. You know,
Yes, we are.
so that's one of the little exercises we're going to do. And don't let that scare you, because we're going to make it really, really easy. It's a team effort. And it's January the 8th. It's a Saturday. It's 5 hours, 1 day only. It will not be streamed live. It is a private event. There are 3 spaces left. So get on that. TeriPugh.com, DevonO'Day@gmail.com, the other way to get in touch with us. And of course, DaynaJones.com to get Dayna's music.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Dayna. It's
Yes.
been really, really an honor to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for this great song too.
Yes, absolutely.
Bring us home, Teri.
I hope everybody has that was an Elvis move. Did you get that?
I did. I got that.
It wasn't really, but it kind of worked. It was an afterthought. As always, thank you everyone for listening and joining in. Thanks, Dayna, for sharing with us today. And leave your comments below, and Devon or I, either one, will come back and we will interact with those. It's just a matter of not right now in this moment, but we're going to get there. And in between now and then, have a great rest of your week and increase your peace.